Hello, good morning. In the last class, we have seen the definition of group, binary operations, semi-group, group and abelian groups. Now, we will discuss some elementary properties of groups. So, what we have seen, so let us, I am sharing the screen, let us see here. So, this is the definition of a group. So, what is the definition? Let G be a non-empty set. G be a non-empty set, and a binary operation on G is a function that assigns each ordered pair of elements of G another element of G. So this condition is also called closure or closure property. So in other words, a binary operation star on G is a mapping G cross G to G, is the Cartesian product of G into itself. G cross G is the collection of all ordered pairs A comma B with A comma B belongs to G. So if star is a binary operation on G, we say that G is closed under the given binary operation star. So binary operations are also denoted by composition or multiplication or composition. In circle, we are writing positive sign. This is also the symbol of binary operation. So these are the binary operations. So examples of group binary operations are the usual addition plus on set of integers z is a binary operation on z, because if we take any two integers belongs to z, a comma b belongs to z, then sum of two integers a plus b also belongs to z, means addition is the binary operation. The usual addition is a binary operation. So in binary operation, we have to take any two elements of the set. If binary operation is addition, then the sum of two elements should lie in the same set. Otherwise, it is not closed under addition. So a plus b, the sum of two integers is again an integer. A comma b belongs to z implies a plus b also belongs to z. Therefore, addition is a binary operation, or usual addition is a binary operation. Similarly, usual multiplication in Z is also a binary operation. Usual subtraction is also a binary operation, because for a comma b belongs to z, a into b, the multiplication of two integers is again an integer. Therefore, multiplication is also a binary operation. Subtraction of two integers is again an integer. For example, a is equal to 5, b is equal to 10, a minus b, 5 minus 10 is equal to minus 5 is again an integer. Therefore, subtraction is also a binary operation in the set of integers. Similarly, Zn, the set Zn of, what is Zn? Zn is the set of integers less than n starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, dash, dash, n minus 1 for all n belongs to z plus, has a binary operation as addition modulo n, a plus n b. So addition modulo of two elements a and b is denoted by a plus nb, a plus b modulo n. We read it as a plus b modulo n, and it belongs to Zn. If we take any two elements in Zn, then sum of two integers divided by n gives the remainder which belongs to the set Zn. So the addition modulo is a binary operation. Similarly, multiplication modulo is also a binary operation. So how to get multiplication modulo? We have to take two elements in Zn, multiply these two elements, divide this product by n. What we get the remainder that will belongs to the set Zn. So multiplication modulo is also a binary operation in the set of integers. So next example is for positive integers m and n, the set of all m by n order matrices whose entries from real numbers. So this is the set of all matrices m by n matrices over the set of real numbers. So addition of two matrices is a binary operation on m by n r. So this is a matrix of order m by n whose entries from real number. So if we take any two elements, two matrices of order m by n from the set m by n r, then addition of two matrices a plus b is also of the same order and it also belongs to the same set. Hence, addition of matrices is a binary operation. Similarly, if we take any two elements, two matrices of order m by n, then product of two matrices A into B is n by n, not m by n. If the matrices are of order n by n, A is order of A order is n by n, B order is also n by n, then we get the product of two matrices as the order of n by n. So A, B belongs to n by n. If the order is m by n, then we cannot multiply the two matrices. So to multiply the two matrices, the number of columns of A must be equal to number of rows of B. Then only we get the product of A and B. If the matrix is a square matrix, then we can multiply two matrices because they are of same order. So product of two matrices is again in the set n by n r. So this is a set of matrices whose rows and columns are equal. So this is called a square matrix. So for any positive integer n, the set n by n order of entries r from real numbers is the set of all square matrices over the set of real numbers. The multiplication of matrices is a binary operation on n by n r. So we are seeing here, if a comma b belongs to m r whose order is n by n, then a into b also belongs to m by m r whose order is n by n. So these are some of the examples of the order of binary operations of the group. Now this is another definition of a group. Let G be a non-empty set with a binary operation star defined on it. Then the structure G comma star is called a group if it satisfies the following properties. So the set G must have closure property. So G is a non-empty set having binary operation. So binary operation means it satisfies closure property. So if it satisfies associative property with respect to the binary operation, if two properties are satisfied, that is closure and associative property, then the set is non-empty set is said to be the semi-group with respect to the given binary operation. If the non-empty subset satisfies closure, associative, identity, and inverse, then the non-empty set G is said to be the group with respect to the binary operation. If it also satisfies the commutative property with respect to the given operation, binary operation, the set is known as an abelian group. So what is associative property? So the set G is a non-empty set with binary operation star. So what is associative? Associative property, we have to take three elements A, B, C belongs to G, then this property must be satisfied. A star B star C must be equal to A star B star C. So here bracket is for A and B, here bracket is for B and C. For with respect to addition, this property is A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. With respect to multiplication, associative properties A into B into C in bracket is equal to A into B in bracket into C. So this is the property with respect to the given operation star. So this is called associative property. So left side and right side answer must be equal. If this property is satisfied in the set non-empty set G, then the set satisfies closure property and associative property. If these two properties are satisfied, then the non-empty set is called a semigroup. Now the next property is identity element. There exists an element E in G such that A star E is equal to E star A is equal to A for all A belongs to G. So you have to take any element in the group G. If in G E exists, E is element of G. If this element E exists in G such that it should satisfy this condition, A star E is equal to E star A is equal to A. With respect to addition, 0 belongs to G, A plus 0 is equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. So 0 is called the additive identity. If the binary operation is multiplication, if A belongs to G and 1 belongs to G, A into 1 is equal to 1 into A is equal to A. So 1 is called the multiplicative identity in G. So here, whatever may be the binary operation, with respect to that operation, A star E is equal to E star A must be equal to A for all A belongs to G. Then A is called the identity element in G. So this is the next property. Here we have seen the set non-empty set having binary operation and it satisfies associative property, and if there exists an identity element, then inverse property. For each element A in G, there exists an element A dash in G such that A's composition or A star A dash must be equal to A dash star A is equal to E. E is the identity element with respect to the given binary operation. So if this condition is satisfied, then A dash is said to be the inverse of A. With respect to addition, if A plus B is equal to B plus A is equal to 0, here 0 is the additive identity with respect to addition. So A plus B must be equal to B plus A is equal to 0. So A plus B is equal to 0 means A is equal to minus B, or B is equal to minus A. So minus A is the additive inverse of A. So here if we write A plus minus A is equal to minus A plus A is equal to 0. So minus A is the additive inverse of A. So if with respect to multiplication, A into 1 by A is equal to 1 by A into A is equal to 1, because 1 is the identity element with respect to multiplication. So 1 by A is the multiplicative inverse of A. So here A star A dash is equal to A dash star A is equal to E. E is the identity element with respect to the given binary operation. Then A dash is said to be the inverse of A. So if G is a non-empty set having binary operation or closure property, if it satisfies associative property, these two properties are satisfied, then the set non-empty set G is said to be a semigroup. If it satisfies identity property and inverse property, then the set non-empty set is said to be the group. So the definition of a group is if a group G comma star also satisfies a commutative property. So G comma star is a group means it satisfies four properties, that is closure, associative, identity and inverse. If it satisfies one more property, that is commutative property. So what is commutative property? A star B is equal to B star A is equal to A for all A belongs to G, A B belongs to G. If we take two elements such that A star B is equal to B star A, if this is satisfied, with respect to addition, the commutative property is A plus B is equal to B plus A. With respect to multiplication, the commutative property is A into B is equal to B into A. So if this property is satisfied, then the group G comma star, this is the structure for the group. G is a non-empty set. We are writing this set in bracket G comma star. Star is a binary operation. If the binary operation is addition, then we can write here G comma plus. If the binary operation is multiplication, then we write in bracket G comma dot. So this is the binary operation, the structure for group. So if G comma star is a group satisfying commutative property, then G comma star is called an abelian group. And if for some A comma B belongs to G, A star B is not equal to B star A, then G is said to be non-abelian. So if this must be satisfied, this condition is satisfied, then only we say that the non-empty set is a abelian group. Otherwise, it is not an abelian group. So some of the examples are in the set of integers with addition as a binary operation. We have, so addition is binary operation in Z means set of integers. If we take any two elements in Z, the sum of two integers is again an integer. So addition is the binary operation. So what is associated with respect to addition? We have to take any three elements in Z, then A plus in bracket B plus C must be equal to in bracket A plus B plus C. So sum of two integers is again an integer. If we add C in the integer, we get the same answer. So left hand side and right hand side will give the same answer. So associative property with respect to addition is satisfied in the set of integers. In the set of integers, 0 belongs to Z. So what is Z? Z is equal to here 0, 1, 2, 3, the right side, and in the left side minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus infinity. So minus infinity to plus infinity, all the numbers belongs to the set Z. So 0 belongs to Z. A plus 0 is equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. So 0 acts as the identity element. So 0 is the additive identity. So in the set, in any set, 0 belongs to that set and binary operation is addition, then 0 is the additive identity. So what is inverse? For each element A in Z, there exists minus A in Z. So if 2 belongs to Z, minus 2 belongs to Z, 1 belongs to Z, minus 1 belongs to Z, 5 belongs to Z, minus 5 belongs to Z. So for each element A in Z, there exists minus A also in Z, such that A plus minus A is equal to minus A plus A is equal to 0. So here minus A is the additive inverse of A, or A is the additive inverse of minus A. So both are the inverses of each other. So minus A is the additive inverse of A in the set of integers. So the four properties are satisfied: closure, associative, identity, and inverse. So the structure Z comma plus is a group with respect to addition. Moreover, it satisfies commutative property. What is commutative property with respect to addition? A plus B must be equal to B plus A for all A comma B belongs to Z. So we see that the two integers A and B, the sum of two integers A plus B is same as B plus A. So Z forms an abelian group with respect to usual addition. It is also denoted by Z comma plus. So this is the structure. Z is the set of non-empty set of integers and binary operation is addition. So Z comma plus is an abelian group with respect to addition. So similarly, we can see that the set of rational numbers Q, the set of real numbers R are abelian groups under ordinary addition with identity 0 and inverse of A is minus A. So in the set of rational numbers and in the set of real numbers, they form abelian group with respect to usual addition as a binary operation. And 0 belongs to Q, 0 belongs to R. So 0 is identity element in the set of rational numbers and set of real numbers. And for every element A belongs to Q or A belongs to R, minus A also belongs to Q and minus A belongs to R. So inverse of element A is minus A. So it satisfies closure, associative, identity, and inverse. So the set of rational numbers and set of real numbers with respect to addition as a binary operation forms a group. Other example is the set of integers under subtraction is not a group. Why? Since minus is the binary operation, subtraction is not associative. So if we take two elements a comma b belongs to z, then a minus b, difference of two integers is again an integer. The closure property satisfies. The negative sign or subtraction is a binary operation, but if it forms a group, then it must satisfy the other three properties, that is namely closure, associative, identity, and inverse. So let us see here with respect to subtraction, the associative property is a minus in bracket b minus c must be equal to a minus b minus c. But here a minus b minus c is a minus b plus c. Here a minus b minus c. So we cannot get the left hand and right hand set value same. So associative property with respect to subtraction is not satisfied. If any one of the property is not satisfied, then the set does not form a group. Now, elementary properties of a group. So instead of using binary operation star, we are denoting this by dot or multiplication. A into B. A into B is nothing but A star B. So to avoid confusion, we are using the binary operation as multiplication. So this is uniqueness of identity theorem. The statement of uniqueness of identity theorem is in a group G, there is only one identity element. There is only one identity element. If G is a group, then there exists a unique identity element. So this is the statement of the theorem called uniqueness of identity. So how to prove? If the G is a group, non-empty set is a group, then it has only one identity element. It should not have more than one identity element. So to prove this, we are taking two identity elements. Let E and E dash are two identity elements in G. So what we have to prove? E and E dash are not different. They are equal. If we prove E is equal to E dash, then the proof of the theorem is completed. So let us suppose that E and E dash are two identity elements in the set G, that is group. Then since E is identity element, we are taking element A in the group G. So if A belongs to G and E is identity element, then A into E closure property, A into E identity element property, A into E, A star E is equal to E star A is equal to A. If E is identity element, then A star E must be equal to E star A must be equal to A. Similarly, we have assumed that E dash is also the element, identity element. So by definition of identity element E dash, A into E dash is equal to E dash into A is equal to A for all A belongs to G, since E dash is identity element. So see here in equation 1 and in equation 2, E A is equal to A, E dash A is equal to A, E dash A is equal to A, E A is equal to A. So it is possible when E is equal to E dash. Similarly, AE is equal to A E dash is equal to A. From these two equations, it is possible only when E must be equal to E dash. So let A is equal to E dash in 1. A is equal to E dash in 1. If we are substituting A is equal to E dash in 1, then it becomes E dash into E into E dash is equal to E. E dash into E is equal to E dash into E is equal to E. Therefore, E must be equal to E dash. So these two identity elements are not different. they are one and the same. So this is called the uniqueness of identity. If G is a group, then there exists one and only one identity element. Another one is uniqueness of inverse. For each element A in a group G, there exists a unique element B in G such that A into B is equal to B into A is equal to E. So B is the inverse of A. So in a group, inverse of each element is unique. This is the statement of the theorem. For each element A in a group G, there is a unique element B in G such that AB is equal to BA is equal to E. Now, to prove this, we are taking two inverses of one element. Let us suppose, just like what we have assumed in identity, uniqueness of identity. To prove uniqueness of identity, we have taken two identity elements, but we are getting these two identity elements are one and the same. Similarly, here we are taking two inverses of one element in G. Let us suppose B and C are two inverses of A in G. Then, according to the definition of inverse, if B is the inverse of A, then A into B must be equal to B into A is equal to identity element, because B is the inverse of A. So definition of inverse, A into B, A star B is equal to B star A is equal to identity element with respect to the given binary operation. So this is the definition. If B is the inverse of A, then this condition must be satisfied. AB is equal to BA is equal to E. Similarly, we have assumed that C is also the inverse of A. If C is the inverse of A, then we are writing the definition of inverse property. A star C is equal to C star A is equal to E, because C is the inverse of A. So instead of writing A star C, we are writing AC. A into C is equal to C into A is equal to E. Now, what is E? E is the identity element in G. So here, A into B is equal to B into A is equal to E. A into C is equal to C into A is equal to C. So from these two equations, AB must be equal to AC. If AB is equal to AC, then it is possible when B is equal to C. So this is the theorem called uniqueness of theorem. Now, one more theorem is there. This is the cancellation laws. So what is cancellation laws? In a group G, the right and left cancellation laws hold. That is, if BA is equal to CA, then we are cancelling right side element A, so B is equal to C. And left side cancellation law, AB is equal to AC, then cancelling A from left, we get B is equal to C for all A, B, C belongs to G. So by using the properties of groups, we can prove this left and right cancellation laws. So consider BA is equal to CA. Now, if BA is equal to CA, we have to prove that B is equal to C. So how to prove? If we take BA is equal to CA and we have to prove B is equal to C, so we cannot cancel just like A, right side A, here right side A cancel, B is equal to C. Here we have to prove by using the properties of the groups. Let A dash be an inverse of A. We are assuming A dash be the inverse of A. Now multiplying both sides by A dash. BA into A dash is equal to CA into A dash. Now what is A? What are ABC, A dash, AB? These are elements of the group G. G is a group. So it is mentioned in the statement. G is a group. If G is a group and these are the elements of group, then it should satisfy associative property. So BA into A dash must be equal to B into A dash. CA into A dash can be written as C into A dash. So B A dash is equal to B So here, so V A dash is equal to C A dash. So A dash is E, A dash is also E, identity element. VE is equal to B. If you multiply element, identity element with any element, we get the same element. B is equal to C. So this is, if BA is equal to CA, we get B is equal to C. So similarly, if AB is equal to AC, then we get B is equal to C. So this is called, if a BA is equal to CA, this is right cancellation law. If AB is equal to AC, if we get B is equal to C, then this is called left cancellation law. Next, so we have seen this elementary properties, cancellation laws, uniqueness of identity, uniqueness of inverse. Now see here, for any two elements A, B, in G, prove that AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. Now AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse means inverse of AB is B inverse A inverse. This is the meaning. If A comma B are elements in G, then A inverse of AB is equal to B inverse A inverse. Now consider AB, we are multiplying. This is a B inverse A inverse is the inverse of AB. So if we multiply B inverse A inverse with AB, then we get identity element. So we are multiplying AB into B inverse A inverse. Now what happened? A, B, B inverse, A inverse are also elements of G. So we can write this as A into B, B inverse, A inverse by associative property in G. A into B, B inverse is identity element into A inverse, because B is equal to B inverse. B into B inverse is E, identity element. So what is AE? A into E is equal to AE into A inverse. AE is equal to A into A inverse. A into A inverse is equal to E. So the product of AB and B inverse A inverse is E, means B inverse A inverse is the inverse of AB. So we can write B inverse A inverse is the inverse of AB, or B inverse A inverse is equal to AB whole inverse. So AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. Similarly, CD inverse must be equal to D inverse C inverse. So first we have to write this last element first element last. AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. So this is the theorem for any two elements A comma B in G. Then AB whole inverse must be equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now this is another problem. Give two reasons for the set of odd integers under addition is not a group. So set of odd integers with respect to addition is not a group. Means any one of the properties, four properties will not be satisfied. So let us see what is the first property. This is the set of odd integers 1, 3, 5, minus 1, minus 3, minus 5, minus 7, etc. Take any two elements, 1 and 3. So what is the addition of these two? 1 and 3, 1 belongs to the odd integer, 3 belongs to odd integer, but 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. The sum of two odd integers is not an odd integer, it is an even integer. So closure property is not satisfied. That means addition is not binary operation in G. So 0, with respect to addition, 0 must be the identity element. So 0 does not belongs to the set of odd integers. So there there is no identity element. 0 belongs to G. So 0 does not belongs to G. So these are the two properties which are not satisfied in the set of odd integers. Hence the set of integers, odd integers, does not form a group. So these are the reason. Now the another problem is, so this is the problem. Prove that the if G is a group with that property, the square of every element is the identity, then G is abelian. So in the set of non-empty set, if the non-empty set G is a group, if A belongs to G, what is the given property? The square of this element must be the identity element. If A belongs to G, A square is equal to E. If B belongs to G, B square is equal to E. C belongs to G, C square is equal to E. So this is the elements in the group G. So if G is a group with the property that the square of every element is the identity element, then G is abelian. So this is the problem. We have to prove that the group G is abelian group. If G is abelian means A into B must be equal to B into A. We have to prove this property. So A belongs to G implies A square is equal to E, where E is the identity in G. So what is A square? A square is equal to A into A. A into A is equal to E. So what is A? A is nothing but inverse of A. So A inverse is equal to A for all A belongs to G. So this is the property of inverse. If A into A is equal to identity element, then A is the inverse of A. So A inverse is equal to A. Now what is AB? AB is inverse of AB. Because A is inverse of A, B is also inverse of B. So AB is also inverse of AB. So, but inverse of AB is equal to B inverse A inverse. But what is B inverse? B inverse is B. A inverse is A. So we are taking AB and AB is equal to BA. So this is nothing but a commutative property with respect to multiplication. So if the group G has a property that every element, the square of element is identity element, then we are getting here AB is equal to BA. It satisfies commutative property with respect to multiplication. Hence, the group G is an abelian group. So I think you have understood this problem. So let me stop here.